Does everyone have a leaf so far? Everyone who's in here, you have a leaf with you? All right. Also, we need pencils and things like that. Do you have something to write with? Because I'm going to bring it in if not. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Today we have an all ages service, which means we're going to be doing things slightly differently today. There's going to be a little more movement. There's hopefully going to be both laughter and some thoughtfulness, and we're going to make space for all the ways that we are together, wiggly, emotional, awake, because you know what? The future is built on us being able to be together in community and with love and gratitude. And speaking of the future, just very quickly, I want to make sure you know that we have a couple of significant things coming up soon. For example, the congregation installation of your new lead minister. Does anybody know who that is? Somebody should let me know. Is next Sunday at 5 p.m. at Warren Wilson. There's going to be a lot of guest ministers, a lot of community leaders, and hopefully every single one of you there. So that's next Sunday at 5 p.m. We will be having our community time in the morning on Sunday as well. Then the auction, right, is the following weekend, maybe even more exciting. Make sure you get your tickets, have those items in by today. Is that correct? If you're going to submit something, I think today is the deadline. And then the following week, yet one more, is our startup weekend with the regional staff of the Unitarian Universalist Association. The whole congregation is invited to a potluck on Friday night, the 17th, and that's where you'll get to talk with the regional staff about what it means to start a new ministry with a new lead minister. So. And then congregational leaders will be involved on Saturday. So lots of stuff coming up. But for now, whether you are here with us in the sanctuary or you're joining us at home, we're so glad that you've come. We also want to welcome back one of our favorites, Chris Rosser. And of course, I hope you always carry deep gratitude in your heart for our team here, Dr. Les, Simon, Vinny, today's worship associate, Jack Runnels. And one last thing before we begin, does everyone have a leaf? A leaf. If you don't have a leaf, please let us know, because Jack's going to come around and give you a leaf. You're also going to want to have something to write with. I think there should be a container of pencils here. John was going to bring it in, colored pencils. If by any chance you don't have something to write with, that's for later, not right now. For right now, keep your hands up. Sorry about that. And Jack will be coming around. Our ushers may need to help with leaves. But I want to invite you to take a deep breath. We're going to let the world outside settle itself. We're going to just take a moment to arrive here for this time together. And I want to share these words of John Seuss. To be of the earth is to know the restlessness of being a seed, the darkness of being planted, the struggle toward the light, that pain and growth toward the sun, the joy of bursting and bearing fruit, the love of being sustenance for others, the scattering of your seed, the decay of seasons, the mystery of death, and the miracle of birth. It's good to be together, so let's take a moment to open our hearts to the gift of our opening music.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Good morning.
When fall comes to New England, the sun slants in so fine, and the air's so clear you can almost hear the grapes grow on the vine. The nights are sharp with starlight, and the days are cool and clean, and in the blue sky overhead, the northern geese fly south instead, and leaves are Irish setter red. When fall comes to New England, when fall comes to New England, and the wind ripples off the sea. Swallows fly in a perfect sky, and the world was meant to be. When the acorns line the walkways, then winter can't be far. From yellow leaves a blue jay calls, grandmothers walk out in their shawls, and chipmunks run the old stone walls. When fall comes to New England, the frost is on the pumpkin, the squash is off the vine, and winter warnings raced across the sky. The squirrels are on to something, and they're working overtime. Foxes blink and stare, and so do I. 'Cause when fall comes to New England, oh, I can't turn away from fading light on flying wings, and late goodbyes a robin sings, and then 1,000 other things. When fall comes to New England, when fall comes to New England.
Now we'll light our chalice. If you would behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide to the body of life, for life and death are one, even as the river and sea are one. Let us kindle our flame in recognition of the great truth that religion is our response to being alive and knowing that one day we shall die. Now please join us in singing, Turn, Turn, Turn.
thank you especially for giving that a whirl. And we did it. We made it through. So today's it? All right. So today our quote-unquote wisdom story comes from Disney. Has anyone ever seen the Disney movie Coco? Anyone? Raise your hand anywhere if you've seen Coco. Did you like Coco? Yes, it's a beautiful film. Did you know that they researched in Mexico for a couple of years before they made that movie, right? They tried really hard. They wanted to get it right, even though it's a pretty interesting, magical story, right? Who can tell me what is Coco about? What's it about? Anyone? You want to try? The Day of the Dead, and is there a place? What's the place? Is there a special place in it? There's a place where there's a lot of skeletons. Does anybody know what that place is called in the movie? Anyone? No one knows what that place is called. In English even? Well, there's a cemetery, but that's not where the skeletal people are. Do you know what it was called? It's called, close to that, the Land of the Dead? Is that ringing bells? Yeah, it's called the Land of the Dead. All right, so this story is about a boy named Miguel, right? And does anybody remember from the story, anyone anywhere, do you remember from the story what Miguel loved? What did he love? Yes. He loved music. And that seems pretty cool, right? Pretty easy. Was there a problem with that though? What was the problem? Yeah, especially his grandma, right? And there was a reason. And his grandma was like, no music ever for any reason. Can you imagine growing up in a house when it was like, you can't have any music at all? Who would like that house? Who wants to live there? You would. One person. All right. One person loves it. Well, then you're going to have a sad service today because you got a lot of music. Oh, well, sorry, Chris. But there was a reason that his grandma didn't. It's because she thought her dad had abandoned the family for music, right? She was really sad about that. And so she didn't want anybody in the family to have anything to do with music. Why do you think she felt that way? Like, why do you think she thought that music might lead to something bad? What was the bad thing that the music might lead to? What do you think she thought? Okay, I'm going to come to you. Yeah, it might break up the family, right? And people might leave. She had believed those things to happen together. But what happens in the story is Miguel really wants to play in a festival, so he breaks into a tomb in the cemetery where of a famous musician and sees the guitar that's in the tomb with him, steals the guitar, and then something happens. What happens to Miguel at that point? Does anybody remember? This is going back, yeah. What happens? He goes to the land of the dead. Now, that is the part that we want to talk about today. So there is this place called the land of the dead. And when he gets there, he gets to meet a lot of people who are no longer alive, right? But how do they seem in the film? Anybody have any thoughts? Are they just laying around, pile of bones? What are they like? Alive but dead. Exactly. Right. They are like they're alive. remembers you. And it doesn't even have to be your family, right? As long as someone, somewhere remembers you, you have a life somehow, right? In the land of the dead. And so that's really a powerful thing. And so the whole rest of the movie is about trying to build the family back on both sides. Both those people who are alive having a family and those people who they've loved who are dead and remembering them properly. And the whole thing is based on remembering the granddad who left. And it turns out he didn't leave on purpose. He unfortunately died when he was away from the family, and they just didn't know. So eventually music and everything returns, but I have a different question for you. How many of you in here, anywhere, love someone who has died? Who has loved someone who has died? Yeah. And do you like remembering them? Yeah. That is really one of the great secrets of life, is that when we remember people we love, whether they're alive or whether they're dead, they have a life of some kind, right? Because they're at least alive in our hearts. We don't know about the land of the dead. We're not sure. Is anybody positive about the land of the dead? Who's committed? We definitely think there's something. We have thoughts on something else. Does anybody here have deeply committed thoughts on a land of the dead? Anyone? How many of you don't know? Aren't sure? All right. I'm not going to ask the next question. So we're going to be thinking about this today, but the next thing that we're going to do is take a little bit of time of quiet, okay? For a moment into a time of prayer and meditation. We learn together as a community how to do both lively and quiet. So kiddos, go to your adult and let's take a deep breath, and we're going to do this together. In this quiet hour, we pause. We settle our hearts in the spaces between the words and between the worlds. At the turning of the wheel, we ache for all we have lost, all that we long for, all that still waits to be born some other day. Help us find our footing in the darkening days. Let us find the warmth of each other's hearts as the world grows cold. Help us find healing in the stillness that comes in the night. Mother Earth, cradle us and teach us again how to be a part of the world. Show us in leaf branch and tree trunk, in burrowing creature and the lace of ice at the edges of things, how to be beautiful within the circle of life and death and life again. And now, with the love of silence, we say, Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. And now we're going to follow that stillness and that settledness with a little bit of something different. So today we're going to do something called the ritual of the falling leaves. And what we want to do is, we're just aware as the earth is turning away from the sun and the nights grow longer that leaves are falling, right? And in Asheville, we are super blessed with how that looks. And we're going to make that happen here too, because what the leaves are teaching us is that we're learning something very important about letting go. Just the shedding of leaves, the hibernation of animals, that burrowing in for quieter things, it makes a huge difference. And so I want to invite you to take a minute or two to write or to draw on the leaf in your hand something that you want to shed or to let go of. Maybe it's a fear or a worry. Maybe it's even a hope that's been keeping you kind of stuck. If only this thing would happen. Something you want to let go of. So we're going to take a few minutes to write that on your leaf, right? And we're going to show a little quiet leaf falling video while we take that time. And then when I walk over to the tree and Les starts playing music, you're going to be invited to come up and then just let your leaf fall. You're not trying to put it on the tree. Don't touch the tree. We might knock it over. But you can let it fall onto the table or the floor. It's okay. We're going to make a glorious mess of leaves just like we do, because we're going to shed those things that we're ready to let go of. So let's take a moment for you to think about what you want to shed. thank you for sharing this beautiful scattering of the things that we shed. And remember that, like the leaves that fall to the ground, there's a beautiful mulching that happens in the darkness that allows new things to grow.
If you're friends with me on Facebook, you know that my profile picture is a skull. I took this photo at a graffiti park in Austin, Texas about 7 years ago. A day after the photo, I was going through some very challenging time, and I was looking through my pictures and saw the skull, and something about it just really struck me. It was an excellent reminder for me that although most of us will live for a long time, death could take us at any time. Therefore, I should be very grateful that I'm alive at all, regardless of the challenges that I might be going through. I wanted to go back and get a better picture of it, so the next day I went back to get a better picture, and it had already been spray painted over by another beautiful piece of artwork. But rather than be sad about the fact that it was no longer there, I was filled with gratitude that I got to see it at all, even if I hadn't taken the photo of it. It was a wonderful reminder to me that in life, nothing lasts forever, and that we cannot control most of what happens around us. For some, the skull and death itself can be scary, but death is a part of life. We can be sad that someday we or those we love will no longer be around, or we can rejoice in the time that we do get to spend going through life and experiencing the joy that our amazing universe can offer us.
Guys ready to sing? Okay. Your part's very easy. It's, and the leaves that are green turn to brown. I'll cue you. It's going to be great. I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but it won't be for long. Time hurries on, and the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither at the wind, and they crumble in your hand. Once my heart was filled with the love of a girl. I held her close, but she faded in the night, like a poem I meant to write. And the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. I threw a pebble in a brook and watched the ripples run away, and they never made a sound. And the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. Hello, 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 hello. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. That's all there is. And the leaves that are green turn to brown, and the leaves that are green turn to brown.
So this is, just so you know, this is a homily, not a sermon, by which I mean it's about half as long as a sermon, so. All right, here's the thing. I do not believe in ghosts. Am I alone in that? How many of you believe in ghosts? Sorry, I'm going to announce it right out. Some of you do. It's okay. We're going to talk about that. Even as a kid, growing up in South Carolina, steeped in the marvelous, haunting tales of the Low Country, I never quite found a way to believe. Now, while we were serving in Virginia, we bought a lovely old house. It was built in 1928 by an architect who had purchased this high land overlooking streets and avenues leading downtown. And he built 3 houses, one for himself, in which we lived, and 2 for his daughters. Now, while we lived there, we refinished the 4th floor, which had been the attic, and made it just one large room on the top of the house, which in time Rob and I claimed as our bedroom. Now, our older daughter, Ember, who will be here next week, by the way, was inclined to think that the house was haunted. And she felt this was underscored by small details, such as hearing voices in the night, probably neighbors, or the evening when, as she was babysitting her 2-year-old sibling, he got out of bed to declare, "I can't sleep. The people under the house are too loud." I was disinclined then, as now, to think of it as much more than a childlike oddity. I mean, kids say the darndest things, right? But I am hard-pressed to explain the night that I was awakened in our bed by someone pulling on my big toe. I wasn't alarmed as a mom. My children have awakened me in the night in many strange ways over time. But when I turned on the light, Rob and I were alone in the room. Shakespeare's Hamlet declares, "There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy." I'm a religious person because I do believe that there are still places where certainty ends and only faith remains. As human beings, we encounter liminal spaces far more often than we tend to credit, especially when we spend most of our time in brightly lit urban or maybe computer device-enabled spaces. The bright surfaces and the fast pace of modern life can distract us or even anesthetize us. But we are creatures of both light and darkness, and the turning of the seasons, the dwindling daylight, the chill in the air, not today, the falling of leaves, and the cold branches against a gray sky, all of these can be a reminder that we have needs for darkness as much as for light. And in this National Geographic article entitled "Our Vanishing Night," Verlin Klinkenborg writes about our biological need for darkness. Unlike astronomers, Verlin writes, most of us may not need an undiminished view of the night sky for our work, but like most creatures, we do need darkness. Darkness is as essential to our biological welfare, to our internal clockwork, as light itself. The regular oscillation of waking and sleep in our lives, one of our circadian rhythms, is nothing less than a biological expression of the regular oscillation of light on Earth. So fundamental are these rhythms to our being that altering them is like altering gravity. In the end, humans are no less trapped by light pollution than the frogs in a pond near a brightly lit highway. And living in the glare of our own making, we've cut ourselves off from our evolutionary and cultural patrimony, the light of the stars and the rhythms of day and night. In a very real sense, light pollution causes us to lose sight of our true place in the universe, to forget the scale of our being, which is best measured against the dimensions of a deep night with the Milky Way, the edge of our galaxy, arching overhead. So we need all of these things. We need the shadow, darkness, silence, stillness, time for quiet reflection, time for sorrow, time to remember things that are lost. This deeply human need is part of why in almost all cultures there's this idea of ghosts or spirits, and why so many religious traditions have a time to remember the dead. Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, Qingming, Oban, Pitru Pashka, Gaigatra. People everywhere try to find ways through the difficulty of losing those we love and then remembering them with joy, dealing with our own broken hearts at their absence. We look for ways to keep them present in our lives. And you know, it was, as we said at the beginning, it was actually Forrest Church who said, "Religion is the human response to being alive and having to die." It's that. Sure, it is that. But it's also the lamp that we hold aloft to see one more step in front of us on a difficult path, and the quiet clearing that allows us to rest and contemplate why we're here. Religious practice is the space we make for sacred time. It belongs to those quiet places beyond the noise of every day. So think about it. Shadows and darkness, the silence of the night or of the grave, the hush over the world as snow thickly falls. Time to reflect, time to mourn, time to simply be still with all this is. This is the season of Samhain, when like the natural world, we may withdraw a little, we may read more, we may color or rest or think about our inner landscapes. So I just want to invite you, as we finish up here, to pay attention. Just pay attention to your own heart, how it's doing, whether there maybe are some cracks that need mending. Pay attention to the noise in your life. Cultivate silence a little more. Look with gratitude on the darkness and remember that it is as necessary to your well-being as air, food, and water. And you know, there's this meditation in Unitarianism, just Unitarianism, not Unitarian Universalism. It was Henry David Thoreau. And he had the same thought in the 1850s when he wrote, "I am the autumnal sun. I am the autumnal sun. With autumn gales my race is run. When will the hazel put forth its flowers, or grape ripen under my bowers? When will the harvest or hunter's moon turn my midnight into mid-noon? I am all sere and yellow, and to my core mellow. The mast is dropping within my woods. The winter is lurking within my moods, and the rustling of the withered leaf is the constant music of my grief." Now, I may not believe in ghosts, and unlike my child, I have never been awakened by the loud people who live under the house. But I do have some humility in the face of what can be fully known and understood. I know some shadows frighten us, and then we need each other. Religion, this place here, this is the human response to being alive and knowing we will die. And if we find our way through together as co-religionists, in the end, we also may be able to find a peace in every darkness and a solace in every silence. And to the point of finding peace, before we transition to the next thing, I want to make sure that we acknowledge that there are people living in deep disruptions of war and a profound lack of peace. So we light a peace candle for them and hold them. Okay, friends, so now as our kiddos, most of them had to hold still for that, you are going to have to help move now. We're going to do something a little bit fun. I'm going to invite you to rise to the peak of your physical or spiritual stature, and we are going to do the skeleton shake here with Danny Go. So come on up and let's do a skeleton shake. Everybody get up and he'll teach us how to do it.
Ready to try some spooky dance moves? Follow me if you dare. You can do the werewolf waltz. Claws out, swaying side to side. Claws out, swaying side to side. Claws out, swaying side to side. You can do the bat ballet. Flap your wings on your tippy toes. Flap your wings on your tippy toes. Flap your wings on your tippy toes. Or you can do the mommy Macarena. Stiff as a board. Stiff, stiff, stiff as a board. Stiff, stiff as a board. But there's a new phenomenon you ought to know. And this is how it goes. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Get in the zone for moving all your bones. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. You can do the Frankenstein foxtrot. Arms out, rockin' front to back. Arms out, rockin' front to back. Arms out, rockin' front to back. You can do the spider web swing. Left to right like you're tied to a string. Left to right like you're tied to a string. Left to right like you're tied to a string. You can do the jack-o'-lantern jive. Make a silly face and come alive. Make a silly face and come alive. Make a silly face and come alive. But there's a new phenomenon you ought to know. And this is how it goes. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Get in the zone for moving all your bones. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. A fever. Shake, shake, shake your skull. Shake, shake, shake your pelvis. Shake, shake, shake all your bones. Shake your femur. Shake, shake, shake your skull. Shake, shake, shake your pelvis. Shake, shake, shake all your bones. But there's a new phenomenon you ought to know. And this is how it goes. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Get in the zone for moving all your bones. Do the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake. Everyone doing the skeleton shake.
Energized.
Thanks, Audette. I finally woke up today.
Try that again.
Oh, thanks, Audette. I finally woke up today. I had very little sleep. That was really good. Now I would like to invite any of you who are visiting us today, who are comfortable in doing so, to stand up and introduce yourself. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Brian.
Tom
I'm
and
from
Ann
Mills.
Utchig. We're from Eau Claire, Wisconsin in the summer, where we're members of the Unitarian congregation there. And we're from Inverness, Florida, where we belong to the Nature Coast Unitarian Fellowship in the winter.
I'm Brian. I'm from Mills River.
I'm Sam. I'm from up near Burnsville.
And I'm Ann. I'm also from Burnsville with my grandson, Josiah.
Welcome.
I'm Carolyn, and I'm here with my granddaughter, Sophia.
Welcome. And I'm Dave and Sharon Winkler. We're from Sarasota, Florida.
Welcome.
I'm Ken and my wife Sharon. We are visiting from Falston, Maryland. Our godchild, Lexi, lives here.
And I'm the other half.
Hi, I'm Brad Baker, and we're up from Sebastian, Florida, where we belong to the Vero Beach Unitarian Universalist Church. I see Casey right up there.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I just moved to Asheville from Palm Beach, Florida.
Hi, I'm Liz. I live in Asheville. I'm looking for a church home that's the right fit for me, and I really wish I'd worn my skeleton earrings.
Hi, I'm Randy. I'm from East Asheville, and I'm here with my friend and neighbor, Linda.
I need my roller skates.
We're Mike and Terry McGee. We just recently moved from Sarasota in the crazy state of Florida to Givens Estates, which is a hotbed of UUs. And we love it there, and we love being here. We're also members of the Chautauqua UU Fellowship, where we spend our summers. But any congregation that can do the skeleton shake like that is a cool congregation.
I'm Walt, and this is Dee. We recently moved to Asheville from Jacksonville, Florida. We love it here. This is our first time attending a Unitarian Universalist service, and it's going really good so far, I want to say.
I always used to say, as an unofficial greeter, when I would go up to people after the service, did you like it? Yes. Oh, great, come back. No, we'll come back next Sunday because it's going to be completely different. Our announcements run as slides at the beginning of the service. If you miss them, refer to Thursday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. And if you don't receive the e-news, ask an usher to show you how to sign up. And now I'd like the youth to come up and talk about Super Sunday.
Oh man, I'm so tired and so sad and so cold and so sick.
Actually, I heard that soup can cure all your ailments.
Man, I wish I had some soup right now.
Yeah.
Get this! It's your lucky day and your lucky day. After this service today, your wishes shall be answered when the super cool COAers serve you a soupy meal for a suggested donation of $10.
Get it now while it's hot.
Feed your soul.
Thank you.
Our community plate partner this month is Transmission. You can contribute by writing community plate in the memo line of your check. Please help us support both our congregation and our community partner. What we do matters a great deal. Today's offering will now be collected and gratefully received. If this is your first time here, please let the collection plate pass you by. This service is our gift to you, and your presence is your gift to us.
This is another fall song. I wish I had a dance to it, but it's more of a sway kind of song. On a night like tonight, we could dance till the morning, till the small town fairground is covered with dew. Above there's a twinkle in heaven's bright eyes, and your smile is warm and true. So play one for good luck and one for the lady, sad country fiddle and a mandolin tune. One for our dreams and one for the baby, sweet autumn dances beneath the red harvest moon. You like the slow ones and I like the waltzes, soft southern kisses and an old mountain song. The heart's melody played pretty and simple, so before the band goes home, play one for good luck and one for the lady, a sad country fiddle and a mandolin tune. One for our dreams and one for the baby, sweet autumn dances beneath the red harvest moon. Now the fairground is empty and the bandstand too, and I'm dancing with a memory gone too soon. So it's one for good luck and one for the lady, sad country fiddle and a mandolin tune. One for our dreams and one for the baby, sweet autumn dances beneath the red harvest moon.
For the gifts of your faith and wisdom, attention and presence, time and resources, we are grateful.
Guys ready to sing again? Yeah. This one's a little harder. This is a Van Morrison song about being on the precipice of change, whether it's seasons, life or death, or personal change. And this is your part. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door, and I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. It's going to happen a lot. You'll get it eventually. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. Want to try? I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. I have seen without perceiving. I have been another man. Let me pierce the realm of glamour, so I know just what I am. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. Feel the angel of the present in the mighty crystal fire. Lift me up, consume my darkness. Let me travel even higher. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. I'm gonna turn and face the music of the spheres. Lift me up, consume my darkness when the midnight disappears. I will walk out of the darkness, and I'll walk into the light, and I'll sing the song of ages, and the dawn will end the night. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more. I'm a dweller on the threshold, and I'm waiting at the door. And I'm standing in the darkness. I don't want to wait no more.
Who's almost hungry for soup? Yes. So as we go, I share with you these words by the great sage Thich Nhat Hanh, who reminded us, "Earth brings us into life and nourishes us. Earth takes us back again. Birth and death are present in every moment. So let us live, friends, and let us sing together our closing blessing." Longtime son. Please rise one last time, and then we'll head to soup.